Hey, what's up everybody? Thank you for watching me on YouTube. Usually you hear me talk about things that's going on in my community, the government, and of course the corrupt mainstream media. I thank all my subscribers, all my friends, and all the people who have been watching me on YouTube that support me. Because without your support, I wouldn't be doing these videos. Alright, I look at the internet sometimes and I look at some of these blogs and some of the internet news sites and I get all my information to make these videos. However, I did get one of those factoids about what's going on with the 2012 election. Last week, the Republicans held a little conference down there in New Orleans. You heard a lot of talk about Ron Paul and Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney beat Ron Paul by one single vote. Now, many of the Ron Paul supporters who've been watching the videos are really upset with the fact that Ron Paul's not getting mainstream attention. And Mitt Romney seems to be the perfect candidate for the Republicans, but Ron Paul is just too out of their mainstream to be a Republican contender. But then you have Scott Rasmussen. Scott Rasmussen is kind of Republican leaning, but he has a poll, and he says that Ron Paul could give President Obama a run for his money. The congressman from Texas has been openly against the war in Iraq and Afghanistan. He wants to abolish the Department of Education. He wants to end the war on drugs. He wants to audit the Fed. And of course, he wants to have liberties established by the Constitution. They dubbed him Dr. No. And many of the grassroots efforts led to some of the Tea Parties that we have today. Ron Paul and Mitt Romney are two different characters in a play. Ron Paul is conservative but libertarian leaning. Mitt Romney is kind of moderate but leaning towards conservative. Mitt Romney comes from Massachusetts. Massachusetts votes mostly Democratic. With the election of Scott Brown and Mitt Romney still getting a lot of traction even though he was defeated by John McCain. The thing about it is that Mitt Romney seems to be the guy that they want because he has business skills and he also has a nice smile. And of course, when he got on the plane, he was disruptive with one of those rappers on the plane, and the rest is history. Besides the fact that he was in the state that allowed gay marriage, and he's a Mormon, and some of the Christian conservatives don't like Mormons, and it's like a lot of crazy stuff going on in America. But still, when I looked at these blogs, I looked at the Raw Story, I looked at the Drudge Report, and I also looked at the Huffington Post. You may have your quirks with all these blogs and all these websites, but it's an open dialogue. You go out there and you can read what you like, and you can dislike things like my videos, for example. You can dislike it or you can like it. But the purpose of these videos here is to make sure that you get an opportunity to hear me talk about things that I like to talk about. Talk about politics. I talk about my community. I talk about things that normally goes on my other profile. And usually I get a lot of criticism from conservatives because conservatives are so hell-bent on defeating President Obama. They want to play the race card and they want to discourage people into making videos, and they attack. The next video I'm going to post on my other profile will address that. But the purpose of me doing these videos is just to give you an opportunity to have your voice out there. I am like everybody else. I'm an independent voter. I voted for the Democratic Party, and I'm going to vote for the Democratic Party again due to the fact that the Republicans have no clue on what's going on. Yes, they may think that just saying no to President Obama may be a good idea, but the short-term goal is just oppose President Obama. They don't have really any strong ideas, and if they had any strong ideas, we would have had a better health care plan. And of course, President Obama is going to push forward with the banking industry, and they're going to have financial reform passed with or without Republican support. Another thing, Ron Paul wanted to audit the Fed. He called it back in 2005 about how we're just building up this little debt bubble and it's going to burst. When President Bush was enjoying good approval ratings, the wars were a subject of many applause among Democrats and Republicans. He had 85% job approval ratings. And then, of course, when everything went bad and we had one person die, 1,000 people died, 4,000 people died, nearly 4,900 people died in both combined wars, you realize that President Bush had the long road. No, I didn't attack President Bush. I don't attack on any president. I respected President Bush. I respect President Obama. They have a difficult task of satisfying the left and the right. But the thing with it is that every time I post videos, you get these conservatives who are just steadfastly angry. angry at the world because Ron Paul didn't win, John McCain didn't win, Mitt Romney didn't win, Sarah Palin might go in and she might not win. You know, it's like, let's have some open dialogue. Let us not go into all this trivial stuff. And then, of course, you know, the Republicans claiming Dr. Martin Luther King. That will be addressed in another video later, too. I just want to be clear. When I do these videos, I talk about issues. Yes, I do like Ron Paul. But some of the things that I've seen, some of the photos that I've seen on the internet, and of course his stance on certain issues which are socially conservative, which I'm not, and of course his age. I think President Obama's going to cruise through another term. Maybe I might be wrong, you know. If he screws up the country, I'll pull the lever for the Republicans. But as of right now, it seems like he's got a lot of popularity among the world, and he's a likable person. I don't know why you hate him. All right, to end this subject here, Ron Paul is being neglected by the media. Everybody's picking Sarah Palin and Mitt Romney. For all the Ron Paul supporters, you got your answer.